As part of the Monogram Club 100-year celebration, the awards committee of the club suggested the establishment of a new award to honor members who have distinguished themselves at Notre Dame and in their individual communities. The first step was to name the award. It became obvious very quickly what that name should be. In his very first visit with the Monogram Club, our athletic director Jack Swerbrook mentioned Jess C. Harper and the importance he holds in the history of Notre Dame and Notre Dame athletics. He was our first athletic director, founded the Monogram Club, and coached football, basketball, and baseball. He put Notre Dame on the map by scheduling and then beating Army in the famous 1913 game at West Point. His business skills helped make the athletic department self-sustaining, which it does to this very day. He laid the foundation for his player Knute Rockne to lead Notre Dame to legendary status. And then 14 years after he left Notre Dame for his farm in Kansas, he was called upon to bring Rockne back to campus after his tragic death and then lead the athletic department through the very tough years after Rockne's death and during the Depression. Where we are today as a university and as an athletic department does not happen without Jess C. Harper. We sought and were granted permission by the Harper family to establish and name this new award after Jess C. Harper. The first recipient of the Jess C. Harper Award had to be someone extraordinary. And as you will hear, Jim Gibbons was the perfect choice. I've known Jim for almost 40 years. He coached baseball and basketball after having played both sports at Notre Dame. He served the university as its director of protocol and oversaw hundreds of events flawlessly, welcoming presidents and other honored guests to our university. After 43 years at Notre Dame, he volunteered countless hours of service to the Congregation of Holy Cross and St. Joe Regional Medical Center. He's a Notre Dame legend. And on behalf of the 7,000 members of the Monogram Club, our president, Kevin O'Connor, and our board of directors, we are proud to present the very first Jess C. Harper Award to Jim Gibbons.
Not many of us turned down the chance to work at the White House, but Jim did. Destiny is like the siren song, calling over and over to a young man who'd serve Our Lady of the Lake 43 and a half years, never tempted to do anything else. As a student athlete, he earned monograms in baseball and basketball. 3 years out of college, he was earning $4,200 a year, coaching at his old high school on the south side of Chicago. That's when Moose Krause came calling. He told Jim Gibbons there were 2 job openings at Notre Dame: assistant coach of the baseball team and assistant coach of the basketball team. Notre Dame wanted Jim Gibbons to do both. The salary? $3,800 a year. But the good news is that Jim could live in the campus firehouse and eat his meals at the athletic training table. An appointment with destiny. How could he turn it down?
Jim Gibbons, one of the silent legends of Notre Dame. When I was coaching Fordham, Roger Valdesari was the sports information director. Rod tells Jim Gibbons, go in and watch this guy, Digger Phelps, coach Fordham next week against Al McGuire. When Jim Gibbons got back to campus, he and Roger Valdesari had a meeting with Father Joyce and said, Digger Phelps is the one to hire to replace Johnny D.
Gibbons could spot talent a mile away.
My junior year with the team, I was an infielder. And I said, you know, I'm probably not going to start in the infield. So I went to Jake, the coach, and I said, Coach, would it be okay if I tried out for catcher? And he said, I don't care what you do. So we're practicing in the old field house. And every evening after practice, I would walk over to the administration building and go upstairs to Jim's office. We would drive out to Clay High School, where Jim Reinbold was.
We spent every night with him practically over at Clay High School. He's never forgotten it.
So the 2 of them who worked with me, blocking the ball, getting rid of the ball, footwork, hitting balls at me.
And darned if Jake didn't say, yeah, you can catch. So he caught, got a monogram and played.
I was the catcher, and I had the job. Jim was Jim.
If there is a magic about the place, it's because you've met somebody and they have told you stories or they have responded to you the way Jim does, and there's very few of him left.
When he was done with coaching, he'd spend the next 27 years working with presidents, donors, kings and queens as the director of protocol and special events.
Don't even think. Just do what Jim says, because Jim knows what to do, and he was never wrong. And even the presidents of the country, they came away, the Secret Service, the other people who were their advanced staff, and they said, "Jiminy Christmas, this guy knows what he's doing." He was that good.
It was such a natural for him, he earned the nickname Mr. Manners. And even the White House asked him to come and work for them. But nothing could tear him away from Our Lady of the Lake.
When a person feels that another person genuinely cares about them, something magical happens. Jim spread magic everywhere.
When he retired, after 43 and a half years, the first thing Jim did was make 41,000 phone calls to discharged hospital patients and their families just to see how they were doing, solely as a volunteer at St. Joseph Regional Health System. The hospital called it research. Jim, he just called it the right thing to do.
He began with hospice. And being a part of hospice, he helped many people and families get through that crisis. Yet also, if you wanted to find Jim Gibbons every day, he was always at the 11:30 Mass for the retired priest at Holy Cross House. He would help with communion, help with Mass, but more importantly, yes, he was there. February 26, when Father Hesburgh died that night. Being at his last Mass was special to Gib.
Jim Gibbons, one of a kind.
I truly believe that if there were more Jim Gibbons in the world, it'd be a heck of a lot better place.
I can't begin to tell you how honored and humbled I am to receive the Jesse Harper Award. After 43 and a half years at the university, this puts the icing on the cake. I just haven't got words to explain how much it means to me. Maya Angelou, the activist and the famous poet, said, "People will forget what you said, and people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." And boy, that says it all for me. I will never be able to tell you how much this means to me, and I will always remember it. Go Irish, and God bless you all.
Gentleman, friend, Notre Dame legend.
One of the silent legends of Notre Dame.
Teacher, mentor, above all, a dear, dear friend.
Yeah, he's special.
Jim Gibbons, recipient of the first Jesse E. Harper Award. God bless you, Jim.